like this setup with Keria on Poppy more than had it been Owner's Poppy.
Oh yeah, let's get into game number 2 and see whether T1 can get to an early match point.
하나, 둘, 셋. T1 하나, 둘, 셋.
Oh man, you really get an idea of how many people there are in the Sajik Indoor Stadium here when they do the T1 fan chant. You absolutely do. This place was shaking. Dancing grenade, but like you were saying, Grubs going to be the trade for a decent amount here towards the bottom side as ZEUS is just trying to play that weak side Scion. And here is the Realm Warp in as Faker off to the side, doesn't get hit by that Q, and in comes Owner to finish him off. First blood going over to the Pantheon as a teleport. Does come through. Actually, Zeka just walking down towards this bottom side as Faker just executes himself, denies the money to HLE.
A even trade in summoners, and obviously a big trade down here with, I think, so close as well, Zeka to trying to get on top of Faker's. Uh-oh.
There's Depth Charge, and there's Chain CC. I think he's dead. Yeah.
They got him this time.
Yeah, they did get him this time, so there we go.
In Zeka being ahead, the problem with Zeka being ahead is going for a very safe build here with the Rod of Ages. And not quite full damage.
Trying to connect here is, okay, they're going to go for the Chain CC. Carrion tries to move himself out of the way, but Peanut locks down that kill and just caught napping here a little bit. The Poppy. So Carrion now lying down might be a big in here for HLE to try and get this snowball rolling.
Yeah, they might just look to try to somehow get this full turret as they look for Owner.
Yeah, another hook does come through. There's the audacious charge as Faker is off to the side to make this an actual 2 versus 2. But Zeka comes over to make it 3. Gumayushi a little bit later. The Arcane Storm, not quite enough as the Chains of Corruption comes in and Peanut taxis his way out with the Grump. Knocks it up there as well, but Realm Warp is coming in. Peanut does have to flash as another hook is going to come through as Viper has to cleanse as Kerry is back once again. Okay, Keeper's Verdict does get him out of there. Now Faker is the one left alone. ZEUS turns up. Enough of that funny business, says HLE. It's Viper that gets the kill.
And
what
this time,
happened?
Yeah, this time T1 is the one trying to heavily overcommit to a play, and they get punished massively.
Yeah, I mean, Peanut initially looks like maybe he has, as we're not done yet.
All right, there's Grand Starfall underneath the turret here onto a gravity field as Owner, he can't tank the turret anymore, and Peanut in a good position this time. Huh?
Yeah,
what?
Not really sure.
That was my analysis at the end. I put the analysis
I'm on this. I'm right there with you.
A few minutes ago, you were starting to feel like, okay, this is going to be a tough one to play out, but now you're feeling so much more comfortable.
This could be a little bit dangerous, though, as Doran looking for an opportunity, but the Xin Zhao is here. The knock-up comes through. Wind becomes lightning. There's the knock-up from ZEUS at the same time, as Doran might be able to flash his way out of here, but ZEUS is right over the top, looking to try and chase him down. But remember, it's an Ambessa, so he has better running away.
And, I mean, I guess they could call that a backfire. Now we're looking for a flank for
TP.
Keria.
Okay, Drake is currently being taken here by Faker, as Zeka moving on in. Peanut with that Wind becomes lightning. Carrier looking for that flank angle, wants to hit the Keeper's Verdict to make this a man advantage for T1 as he finds it. It is just about perfect as now they just single out Zeka. That is going to be kill on the other side though, as both mid laners are now lying in the dust. The curtains have been called and T1 has split the flash forward from Delight as now ZEUS turns up to be that monster in the front line. But Carrier is still being a menace. ZEUS is looking to lock him down as Gumayushi over the wall is getting the pot shots in. Viper now singled out by Doran, who still has a lot of damage, and ZEUS will be cut down where he stands. HLE once again losing a team fight.
And it's just way better coordination here from T1 in these moments. The Flash Keeper's Verdict from Keria on the flank was absolutely insane. It gives him just enough space. And then you see the flash from Guma over the wall. So starts off with Keria here, over the wall, channels, flashes, gets the double knockaway. And that's the Scion gone here.
Keria.
And then look at the follow-up here when they look to collapse onto Guma. He's able to get over the wall, which is so critical, and do the rest of the damage.
And I think Viper, those shots, it's a Pantheon. You're just never going to get him if the E is up, trying to take him down. And then, obviously, once you get to this point, you're just a Jhin trying to run away. Even without the ult, Doran has no tough time getting on top of this Jhin. And they knew that Keria was there. They were just caught off guard by that ultimate that single-handedly secured them soul point. And I don't think they were out of the game, but they were definitely falling further behind. The 5v5 looked good for Hanwha, and now, all of a sudden, gold lead is negligible, and there is that soul point, and Ocean Soul and Bessa, Ocean Soul Rise, it's a little worrying.
You know, it's not as simple as just he got lucky, he flash ulted, and they didn't know. It just puts Hanwha into so many different uncomfortable positions where they have to make the exact right call, and the exact right call is not easy to make, and you have to make it in such a short period of time. That was a great play from Delight to almost get Guma, you know, but at the end of the day, T1 pulling ahead in this one objective-wise, still down in gold, but it feels less significant as Doran.
Public execution goes in as Viper is just going to get executed. They blow him up, and now the Chains of Corruption to hold ZEUS in position. The rest of HLE trying to get here, but two are already on the floor, and T1 are just happy that they've showed up for the slaughter. The knockup comes in though, and Doran is going to be taken down, but Delight will also be returned as another one.
Away, now you're even in gold.
Ooh.
Dragon in 5.
2 item spikes done for Zeka, and this is the point where I think Hanwha Life, they're gonna get this 5v5 win. Keria again, can they find him?
It's Carrier's angle as he just knocks Peanut away. The heroic charge comes in now. The Pantheon comes through as well, but it's not quite as coordinated as we saw last time. Viper fighting against Doran though. Deadly Flourish comes in. They take down Ona, and now Doran finds himself inside the blender, and he will be taken out. Now the curtains have been called. Carrier slowed down. He is out of range of these shots, and now Zeka is 1v1ing against the Poppy and kind of losing. That was scary. And Carrier is able to walk his way out. Still this time, HLE find a fight.
I mean, Guma hits that arrow, it's a kill, he does miss it, but Hanwha Life will win their first Dragon of the game. And yes, it's the same play from Keria. They only hit the jungler this time, and the follow-up isn't as clean.
And there's the 5v5 we were looking for Hanwha. They deny the soul. They also deny, as Delight is on the ward, do take note.
All right.
There's no rest here.
Death Charge going to come through here, but Faker just decides he wants to kill ZEUS, and he might be able to do so. Gumayusi in a fair bit of trouble as Zeka distracted by the Poppy once again. Viper now looking for an angle. Deadly Flourish, will it be in range? And he doesn't quite find it, but he doesn't need to. It's a double for Zeka, and HLE running away with it now.
That could be how Hanwha Life want to play this, but they are, again, denying vision of T1, forcing T1 to be in this area.
Yeah, Carrier.
TP.
Yeah, they're just looking for Zeka, and he is
a deep TP.
He is a long way away from everyone as he flashes towards Ona. The rest of his team is coming up though, and his health bar is pretty high. He's still alive for now. The depth charge comes into public execution, misses onto this Victor, who is just standing in amongst all of his bodyguards, and now Faker is singled out. It's Zeka's turn to close in. Faker's still looking for that damage, but now the fight is ensuing on the other side. Delight might give himself up, but the knockup is there from ZEUS. He's trying to stand in the way, and Zeka might get executed here by Doran. He goes golden, and Doran is still alive. They take him down as the arrow is going to be there from Gumayusi, as 3 for 3 is the trade. But it is only really the tanky members alive from HLE, and Gumayusi is still terrifying on his signature Varus.
And also domestic Doran is unreal.
This man, who is this guy, Wolf?
Weird. So, a lot of sums are down for Hanwha. I do also want to highlight the restraint of Zeka on his stopwatch. That was actually insane. He waited until the arrows were in the air, but even before, I think a lot of players would stopwatch as soon as that play starts. But he really went for maxing the damage as another fight for the soul here, at least for T1. If they can get back space, but I think this is where Hanwha Life's comp should really shine. When they can get that front to back, Baker looking on the flank.
Let's see that Keria ult. That's the most important part of a lot of these fights.
Oh, the Ocean Rift.
You really don't get to front to back when a Poppy is in the game, especially when it's Keria.
He's got the heal set for a bit of a gap close as well.
Well, Faker is actually just going to try and take down the start in the mid lane. He will be successful, and remember, T1, they don't necessarily need to go for this.
He wants
but they can, as here's the Keeper's verdict. They do get rid of the Psy on the front line. Is now gone. The Gravity Well is doing so much work here, as Zeka just walks away and lets that Arcane Storm do the work, but it's Gumayusi, it's Faker, and they have so much damage, and they'll get the soul off the back end.
An insane fight here for T1. Realm Warp not ready for Faker. I think they're just going to push Hanwha away.
Yeah, and look at the damage dealt numbers. This is absolutely insane. Both Gumayusi and Doran running away with it.
Keria is the lowest in the game, by like a large margin as well.
But he has hit some of the best buttons.
Well, I mean, he's got them to soul.
Oh, yeah.
Like both fights were, it's insane.
It's ridiculous. In the mid lane, we've got the top laners trying to face off, but Chains of Corruption comes down towards his bottom lane. Delight probably lucky that that anchor didn't land. And T1, the war of attrition is just being won on their side of the rift. Here's the flanking teleport, though, as Gumayusi could be in a lot of trouble. He doesn't have his shield, and he doesn't have a whole lot of hope, but he does flash, and the train is not even going to get the stun. The wind becomes lightning, misses. Is the knockup going to be there? The rest of T1 are turning up. Kuma's still trying to kite this one out. He finally dies. The knockup is huge there from Delight at the same time as HLE are trying to fight off Doran on the other side of the fight, and things are going completely wrong for HLE on the top side. Delight trying to get out. The flash in front from Carrier is just gorgeous, and Doran can do no wrong here in Busan.
And why Homo Life is firing skill shots into the nothingness of the rift. Doran is 1v2ing.
Yeah, I want to have a chat with Aslan, man. That guy's getting hit by everything there in Narnia.
Oh, from Doran as well as that Source.
Oh, that was blind as well, kinda.
On the ultimate. I mean, it's a good predict. He knew the trajectory.
Death's Dance, baby.
It's a risky call, and he goes for it. A few things miss here, but ultimately I don't think it matters. You know, hitting that flourish would have changed things. Carrier, the bodyguard, and Doran cleans up house. Man, T1 looking better than they have, I feel, all year long. And the microcosm being the Poppy coming through.
All right, ZEUS, his health bar is looking a little bit large, but let's see how long it lasts. As there's another public execution. Doran getting in amongst 5 people underneath the turret. They haven't gone down just yet, but there's the Grand Starfall. Here is T1, and it's a double already for that man in the top lane. Zeka gonna go golden, and just watch as T1 rolls over the top like this wave that is just attacking them in their base. Viper, yeah, I think probably sticking around on this fountain is going to be the right idea, as T1 will move to match point here and make it possibly a pretty short one here in Busan.
And that bot side play, the power of friendship, T1 have done that exact thing so many times. Oh no, someone's out of position, and before you know it, reinforcements come in, the stall comes through, and the team fighting from T1 today is just outmatching Hanwha.